we begin. I say obviously. Aggie Baseball, it is done. 2026 season is over. 7-1 USC goes 2-0 against the Aggies, or I guess based on your perspective, the Aggies go 0-2. A&M was just dominated by the Trojans. So many different angles on this. Yesterday I said this was the offense's series. This was the offense's game. The story was about the offense, and still true. The story will be the offense failed. The offense failed in 2 games. The offense failed in both games. I know USC scored, 14 in the first game? And that's because Early went to the not needed part of his pen, so it escalated. But the offense failed against USC. They failed in the College Station Regional. I know they put up a 17 spot against Texas State. Hey, they found the one team that decided to throw them all fastballs, so they just teed off on all the fastballs. USC said, hey, we're just going to throw off-speed pitches till you hit them, and guess what? The season is over. They still haven't hit the off-speed pitches. And that really was the secret to slowing down. It wasn't even slowing down, shutting down the A&M offense. Off-speed pitches. This A&M offense had been magnificent all year long. One of the top offenses. In the postseason, and if you have a why the offense got shut down, disappeared, you can share. I look at the USC pitchers they trotted out there. Very ordinary. They threw pitches all in the strike zone. Very hittable. But the A&M hitters, were they pressing? I know some of them, I will use the word tired. They looked tired. They took tired swings. I don't buy the narrative they were pressing because of the pitching. They've played all year with the same pitching staff. So trailing, thinking you needed to score 10 to win, the things that would make them pressing because of their pitching is the norm. There's zero reason to press because they were pitching. Pressing because the season was on the line is a possibility, but I don't know. After you go through a whole 30 games of SEC play, okay, one game was lost due to rain 29. That should not be a thing. And if you have leadership, it should not be a thing. So I'm not even sure how much I play into that. Were they letting the frustration mount? I don't know. After you put up a 17 spot Texas State, I would expect you come out pretty loose. Look at yesterday's game to be specific. This is very fundamental, but maybe this just describes the most basic difference and why USC is advancing. USC gets the leadoff runner on. They bunt them. Their 36th, 37th bunt of the year. Next guy up, slaps the single. They get the run home. Executed. They take the lead. Or no, they didn't take the lead at that point. They were, they did take the lead. Extended their lead. Well, A&M, very next half inning, gets the leadoff runner on, bunt them across. You go to the top of the order. A&M's top of the order, Grahovic, Sorrell, Hakopian, is as good as any top of the order in the country. And there are 3 names that you should remember for as long as you think Aggie baseball. All 3 are great players. Grahovic strikes out, and Sorrell on the night had just one of the worst games I've seen him have all year. His at-bats were awful. He did not see the ball last night whatsoever. And the Aggies do not bring the run home. And this happened in back-to-back. So you could just see it clear as day, the difference in the 2 teams. USC just executed perfectly baseball 101, and A&M with their best 2 hitters, 2 future MLB draft picks. Will it be 2 second-round picks, a 1 and 2? Just awful at-bats. And again, the USC pitchers, they started Grant Gobble with the All Big Ten pitcher of the year, and they got hits. In 4 innings, they put up 5 base runners and had 2 scoring opportunities. Never got the 2-out hit. Never got the hit with the runner in scoring position. And A&M got themselves out as much as any USC pitcher got themselves out too. They had awful at-bats. Took the fastball, swung at the pitch at the ankle. Just awful at-bats. It was a rough ending to the season. Rough ending to the season. And we're going to talk about pitching. And we're going to talk about pitching coaches. But at the end, A&M finished short of a super. The offense failed. And that's the hardest part for me. And here you go. I want to be clear about something. Grahovic, Sorrell were awful last night. Herkopian reached twice in his 4 at-bats. Can't complain with it. But Grahovic and Sorrell were absolutely phenomenal this year. And you don't take one game and it does not overwrite, does not eclipse a season. Grahovic had hit homers in 3 straight games, was absolutely unconscious, which makes that game last night just mind-boggling. And they kept throwing him the same pitches last night until he figured it out, and he went to sleep last night and never figured it out. So if you think I'm going to call out Grahovic, you're nuts. He was unbelievable, loved A&M, absolutely the passion, everything. You're not even in the postseason without him. So, but the game, season on the line, struck out twice and never was comfortable at the plate. Caden Sorrell played this whole season like his hair was on fire. And he was a treat and had an incredible season. And man, I would have killed to see a healthy career for him. Rough night for him. So we're going to talk pitching. Without a doubt. But the offense is the why. They averaged 9 runs a game. That was the average. If they just do what's normal and average, they're in a super regional. We're talking North Carolina, who, by the way, is now the betting favorite to win it all. Now that smoke cleared on one of the craziest. This is the most insane regional that ever happened. So anyway, for me, and I don't know about you, my mind flipped to, okay, the athletic year is done. And I know that making a regional is not the college football playoff. But I take the way Aggie football ended with their last 2 games of the year. And now I'm taking the way Aggie baseball ended with the last 2 games of the year. And I'm just like, is this going to be a new form of torture if you're an Aggie sports fan? Is we take these good things we have and then just light them on fire and throw them off a bridge? Because the endings are so brutal that they threaten to rip all joy and happiness out of these good things that you have. Because the Aggie baseball season, the season was good. After last year, the doubt, the question marks, how horrific being the preseason unanimous number 1 and not even making the postseason, to this season where you were not even ranked. Because I am correct, right? Preseason, they were not ranked. To finishing 3rd in the SEC and a national seed. So the season was great progress. But man, going out like this, Clayton Freshcorn was an absolute warrior. There's no universe that he should have been out there in the 7th. It doesn't matter at that point if he was, 6-1, or he was 6-2. My apologies. Let's get all the details right. But there's no universe he should have been out there in the 7th. And all year long, how many times have you heard, well, we were just trying to get one more batter. We were just trying to get one more inning. We were just trying to get one more pitch. You've heard it too many times. Part of that, when you got no pitching answers, you're prone to make mistakes out of desperation. And I understand that. Not going to tell you I'm happy. When you literally have nothing, the first sign of hope, you're going to drink too much. But part of that, and people keep blaming Michael Early. He left him out there too long. Well, the head coach pulls him, but I'm pretty sure Early doesn't actually make the decision. It looks to me like he probably lets his pitching coach tell him. I'm not 100% on this. I'm going to be fair here. Because or maybe they consult and then they make a group decision. But I'm going to phrase my thought this way. It astounds me that nobody in that dugout ever seems like they have any feel or understanding for any of their pitchers and when they're done. No one in the dugout. Because it seems like it's happened way too many times that it's always one batter. When Shane Sadeo, early in the year, was just coming back, right, from a whole lost year, how many times, we just want to get one more inning, one more bat. I mean, we've heard that on how many pitchers? If you had understanding of your pitchers, you could pull them when you know they're done versus 4 runs on the scoreboard telling you they're done. I would kill to see that kind of decision making. You don't need the scoreboard to tell you when your pitcher's done. And I don't think we've seen that ever. I would love for the media to go, Coach, he was rolling. Why did you pull him? Well, we know he was done. I mean, he's our guy. We know. We see him every day, as opposed to 5 runs later. But you don't see that with the A&M pitching staff and the decisions being made. Kind of ever. I would love fans to go, man, do you ever think we pull our pitchers too early? That would be a great conversation. Text messages are rolling in. I promise you I will get to them. More thoughts on the end of the Aggie baseball season. Frustrating, without a doubt. You went 2-0. USC had to play, a 4th and 5th game. They had already thrown their all Big Ten. And they had 2 great pitchers, but that wasn't the story of this whatsoever. There's many questions that are going to need answers this offseason, even I'll argue this week. But you can text me. What are your questions? What are your comments? What are your opinions? 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. We're just beginning. This is the Louis Bellina Show from inside the Charles Schwab studio. Tuesday on the Zone.
Your home for Texas A&M football is Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone. The Zone.
Conversation, which I think is going to last for more than just a day or two, is just beginning. Aggie Baseball 2026 and, on to 2027. And again, what happened losing to USC? Offense went cold. Offense pressing. Offense failed. Clayton Freshcorn was brilliant. And yes, you have to know your pitcher. The scoreboard shouldn't tell you he's done. He should not even have come out for the 7th. Oh, he was only 6-2 at that point. And you should have thanked the stars. 6-2 should have been so far beyond expectation, reality, and hope. And at that point, you're like, hey, we got to figure it out. It was so brilliant what he did. I look forward to seeing Freshcorn on Friday nights next year. But no, Always too far, too much, not understanding your own player. It just, and it ended the only way it was ever going to end, because they were so desperate for pitching. They were always going to leave him out there too long, no matter what. The hope was if he was going to do 6 and 5, and that 6 and 2/3 and 5, you would hope that the offense would put up like 9 in the first 5. So you're at like 9-2, 9-1, whatever he did. And the momentum could have drove you to the win. Talked about it yesterday. But the offense just went quiet at the wrong time. The offense went really quiet at the wrong time. Some of your text messages. Vinny and LaGrange. I have to tip my cap to USC in their uniforms. No long pants to be seen and some stirrups sprinkled in. J84. Overall good season, made progress, but the last 2 games made me want to poke my eyeballs out. When we left, we were just saying, thank goodness it's over. We don't have to watch this again. Yeah, it's same thing as Aggie football. The last 2 games made you just so happy. Not happy it was over. You felt so disgusted. And that's what Aggie Baseball's last 2 games did, which hopefully each day this week that feeling goes away, because there was much progress made with Aggie Baseball. It's just the things that still need progress should not need progress made in. It's baffling, actually, that these are still questions and problems, and how bad they are. And how bad they are. That's all. That's the part for me that's just like, this team had the path just open for it to super and could not just get out of its own way. Text message from the Texas Mobile and Loop Express inbox. Texas Mobile and Loop Express, owned by Gabriel Garcia. Curious if there's a limit to how many coaches or assistants we can have for the baseball team. Early seems a bit overwhelmed. Well, if you believe that his pitching coach is not providing the assistant that position should, that would equal some of what you perceive as Early being overwhelmed, and that one of his coaches is not doing his job. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't that the former head coach who was supposed to mentor Early and help him figure out the way as Early was learning to be a head coach? So maybe what you're seeing as overwhelmed is a coach who's not having all his coaches do what they're supposed to do. A thought. Cletus in College Station said Schloss was. I don't care about Schloss anymore. Referencing him, unless it's just comedy, I'm over it. He was here. He's not here. Unless you just want to poke fun at people meeting in cemeteries, which will never get old and not funny. Don't care about Schloss and what Schloss was and Schloss did and Schloss that. It's 2 years now. I'm good. So that's it. That's it. Yeah, again, the Schloss thing, I'm good. Don't care what Schloss did. Don't care what he didn't do. 2 years later, I don't think he's relevant to the storyline of A&M baseball. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. A&M ended up being the 7th national seed eliminated. 7th national seed. It's that kind of year. That if necessary game, all 5 are won by the team that came out of the losers bracket in the regional play this weekend. All 5. Again, it's been that kind of year in the regional round. It's been the most insane, parity-based underdogs ruling the day. We have Troy going against, it's Trojans on Trojans. Little Rock at Troy is a super regional. And then you have these kind of years where you have the underdogs ruling the day, and it's the year of the upsets and everything, and A&M never gets to participate. So when the big dogs eat, A&M doesn't have a seat at the table. When the underdogs have their day, A&M never participates in that. Where is A&M's role in any of this ever? Where's A&M's position? I've said this before when I talk about Aggie athletics. For me as a fan, going back to 1987, my fatigue point is with participation. That's what I get tired of. That's what I get tired of celebrating. That's what I get tired of going, oh, it's so neat just to be there. So neat to have a seat at the table. And it just feels that that's like the pinnacle of Aggie athletics is we were there. How cool was that? As opposed to where's the titles, where's the rings? And Aggie athletics, I have to remind myself of this, is trending in the right direction across the board. Trending in the right direction. You look at Buckyball and you look at that portal class he just put together. Now they'd had a full year in the portal. And Mike Elko in year 2 took Aggie football to its first ever. You know, and you look at his portal work, and he's got 5 stars with the number 1 trending for 27 recruiting class. So remind yourself, I have to. But the Diamond Sports, if we want to put them both together, again, failing spectacularly in the postseason. Remember, Aggie softball hosted, did not advance. Aggie baseball hosted, again, did not advance. And it's a year removed after Aggie softball was the number one, did not advance. Aggie baseball was the number 1 preseason and didn't even make the postseason. Right? And then a season later, I mean, neither one advanced out, even though both hosting again. So, I guess, am I supposed to just be like, oh, don't worry, it'll get there? Because if you're an Aggie, you've also seen this. They're getting better. They're getting, improving storyline. How many times? It was rough watching last night. That's the other part. Having to sit through 2 games of watching them struggle against USC. No juice. Didn't feel any urgency. It was rough. It felt like watching Aggie football play Texas and Miami again. This whole 3 hours together is not going to be spent. Woes me. Because I think it's straightforward. You got to get a new pitching coach. And then hopefully, as the one texter said, Early won't seem so overwhelmed. I don't even think that's a conversation, is it? Like, I know some people like to debate anything. I'll say water is wet, and they'll be like, not really. And I'm like, excuse me? Fire is hot? Not really. What? So, anyway, yeah, I'll be okay. But it's just the whole of it, the underachieving, and I'm a Diamond Sports guy. But I guess, enjoy the improvement one snail step at a time, where other programs just put one portal class together and one snail step at a time. And things that are so obvious have to be painfully obvious before they get fixed. How come no one knew the obvious problem before it just manifested itself like this? And I'm talking about the A&M pitching. Those are the questions I always have. When we return, I got to listen in for you. An Aggie baseball listen in after the regional ended. Coach Early, players met with the media. We'll hear what they had to say when their season ended. 979-693-1150. You can text your questions, comments, opinions. Light up the Texas Mobile and Loop Express inbox. This is the Louis Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Residential, commercial, industrial services. It's what they do at CC Electric.
Your home for the Houston Astros is Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
Text message from Karen said, a big disappointment last night was Chris Hakopian was thrown out at home plate attempting to steal during the bottom of the fourth inning. The play would have been a game changer if he was safe. Maybe I'm misremembering this, but he wasn't trying to steal home. Wasn't he trying to come home on that crazy play the crazy play that they had the shift. It was fielded kind of on the ground in shallow center field. And it was the second, whoever fielded it on the shift, they thought that maybe they were going to catch USC off guard on the play, which was a great play, and then the throw to first, but the first baseman was all over it. Like, he wasn't trying to steal home, right? Am I mistaken on that one? So I don't think he was trying to steal home. Yeah, he was out by 100 miles. And the thing is, I'm not even mad. I don't even get mad on that because, you know what, Cliff Pennington sent him, and he's been brilliant all year, and that was trying to be aggressive, and it ended up looking awful, and you have to understand the gambit or not, and the way the season had worked, more often than not, he was just brilliant. So sometimes not everything works. But I don't think he was stealing home. Maybe I'm misremembering. Ted texted and said USC was just noticeably better pitcher and hitter both ways. Yes. You can't argue who the better team was in this series. There's nobody got lucky. Nobody got jobbed by officials. Yeah, I can't argue that. There is no doubt about that. I have a text message that said, how about those Lady Raiders? And they're talking about the Texas Tech softball team. For the first time in the history of the College World Series, since they've been to the best-of-3 championship format, two teams from the loser side double dip the winner side and square off in the championship series. Because we have a rematch. And this is like the first, it's kind of historic what happened yesterday. Texas double dip Tennessee. They're the defending national champs. They're now back. Texas Tech double dipped Alabama, the 1 seed. And they're into the championship game. They're back. So this is a rematch of last year's national championship game that Texas won. They both double dipped their opponent. And none of this has happened. A rematch / both losers bracket teams double dipping. And, last week, I don't know, I think maybe it was Friday or Thursday, I said if Texas Tech had any coaching, I made that statement. Pretty harsh statement. And Texas Tech has ripped off this College World Series run. And sure enough, Jerry Glasgow, the Texas Tech head coach, he has made about 2 million decisions, and he's put himself under criticism and fire for how he's managed the pitchers in this College World Series and just some decisions. And again, he's been called villain. I think his team is villains. I don't know if he's a villain. I think that's actually not necessarily correct, but his team easily. But there is a bottom line to all of this. He is the head coach of a team that has went to their first 2 College World Series ever, got them to their championship series in their first 2 College World Series ever. And I have seen the micro dissection of everything Texas Tech. I hate Lubbock and I hate Tech. Not as much as Baylor, to be clear, but really, really, really high on that list. Don't get me wrong. So giving them any credit makes me want to put my head through the counter here inside the Charles Schwab studio. He can't be doing it all wrong, and they're accomplishing what they're doing. And again, how he's managing the pitching staff in the regular season, how they didn't, not even a national seed. And he's used 42 different lineups in the regular season. People don't even understand some of his substitution patterns, where it's like he's trying to fulfill NIL contracts versus what's best for the game. But to double dip Bama, that's something that has to do with him. You can't remove that. And to get back-to-back championship series, he's created something. Now, the way they go about recruiting NIL is just dirty as hell. So let's not forget that. And when I, as a college softball fan, and my own personal ranking of teams I hate, and Texas is 1 and Texas Tech is probably 3, how do I watch this College World Series? Yeah, I'm struggling. Time now for that Aggie baseball listen-in I mentioned. After the game was over, Coach Early, Gavin Grahovic was there. They met with the media, and, well, here's their final thoughts of the season.
Yeah, first off, congratulations to USC. Coach Stankiewicz is a heck of a coach, man. When I first got started at Arizona State, he's at GCU, so he's someone I really admired, and just a really good program, and just hats off to them. And they played their tail off. And as far as our team and these guys, I mean, we had a hell of a year. Obviously, this is not the outcome we wanted. You never do, but super proud of them and their effort. We went through a lot, and we got to this point because of these guys, man, and everyone in that clubhouse. So just thank you to all of them. And, yeah, go ahead.
Questions? Front, left, Alex?
Mike, just for all the resiliency y'all had shown this season, just what would you feel like you guys just weren't able to capture tonight and just couldn't get it done?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to try to get on the board early, and we didn't. I mean, they did a good job. I thought we hit some balls hard, but maybe not enough. They pitched it really well. They pitched it well and did enough. And Fresh kept us in the game for a really long time, man. So, yeah, baseball, man. It's a tough sport. It's a tough sport, and sometimes things don't go your way. But it wasn't due to a lack of effort. We just, they played better than us tonight.
Front, middle.
Gavin, your time in Aggie Land has been anything but linear. Can you just talk a little bit about what this place means to you?
Yeah, it means everything to me, to be honest with you. This place has changed my life like I could ever imagine. They took me in from California, 1,000 miles away from home, and it felt like home immediately. I love this place with all my heart. I always will. Can't thank Coach Early enough for believing in me and everything that I've done over these past couple of years, and letting me do what I've done. I can't thank my teammates, every staff I've had here, all the players I've played with, all the support staff, everything. There's nothing like this place, and I'll forever cherish it.
Clayton, first career start at A&M. What the preparation for the day like, and then what's the mindset as you set out there in a winner take all, and also how it's feeling things don't go your way?
Clayton, if you don't mind, grab the mic so it's a little closer to you. Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to try to keep it as similar as possible. Didn't want to try to change everything just because I was getting the ball in the first inning. I knew that the job at hand, I knew that I had to try to give everything I could and to keep us in the ball game. In a sense of the mindset, I wanted to say that it probably kept it the same. I just wanted to go out there one pitch at a time, and I mean, there's no worse feeling than this right now, for sure.
Right.
And Mike, how challenging was it when Aiden left the lineup to kind of manage the pitching staff and try to fit everybody into the right roles, and then especially coming into this last game?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely difficult. I mean, we wouldn't have had the season we had without Aiden. So whenever you lose a guy like that, it makes it really tough. But we had a lot of guys step up and do their thing, like Fresh tonight. I mean, you said it, first career start, and I mean, it was a great one. It was a great one. So yeah, it's definitely challenging. Down a guy like that, when you've had you battled through some guys getting injured in the preseason and guys getting injured during the season, it just left us a little thin. With him, we had enough, and without him, it just kind of pushed some roles. Guys had to extend some innings. It definitely made it difficult for sure.
And Bear, what did you see from Clayton and that was working through him through most of the game there?
Yeah, just what he normally does, except it's just the beginning of the game. He's been doing that all year. I thought he did great. That's the longest he's ever been stretched out this season, so super proud of him, and it was a very well-deserved moment for him to start that game. And everyone knew that he was the guy that was going to do that.
For Mike, just what went wrong in that when Chris came home and got thrown out? Was he sent home, or just what happened there from what you picked up?
Yeah, I think play like that, you're just trying to kind of catch him off guard. Trying to get some runs going. You see it time and time again where a first baseman doesn't even look. Close play at first, maybe looks at the umpire. So yeah, it just didn't work out, and it would have been a great momentum play to get on the board. Hindsight on it is always what it is in baseball, but yeah, it just didn't work out.
Carter?
Coach, just overall, what do you think went wrong kind of for the offense today?
Yeah, like I said, they just kept us off balance. I mean, we're built on two things. Like we want to swing at strikes and take balls. This team doesn't throw balls, right? They don't walk people. None of their pitchers walk people, and you got to get hits, which is the hardest thing to do in sports. And just we weren't able to do that. And they did a good job. They filled up the zone. They attacked with heaters. They're a really challenging team just because they throw a lot of those guys throw heaters that lift and stuff that's down. So you got stuff going both ways. You try to center it to the middle. Way easier said than done. But trying to get balls over the middle of the plate, they just do a good job of not leaving them over there. And they've done that all season. So they really, really tough staff and tough team to deal with.
And I know the season just ended, but as far as the transfer portal goes, what do you think the biggest priorities for your roster will be?
Yeah, I think we're always looking at everything, right? We gotta get better. We want to get back to this point and get past this point. And there's guys like this to my left that won't be here. So we gotta find the next one of them. And we also got some guys underneath them that are going to develop into that role. So yeah, we're looking at everything. If you can make us better, we want to try to get you here.
For Gavin, to Mike's point, this is probably going to be your last game here at A&M. Just how do you hope your time's remembered, and just where do you think the trajectory of this program's heading as you might depart?
I mean, for the way I want it to be remembered is that we made it better than when I showed up on campus. The class that I came in with the year that I had, or that we had my freshman year, and it changed the program. It really showed where this program could go, the heights they can go to. And with Coach Early at the head, I mean, there's so much that this team can accomplish. Obviously, the hitting part of things was we had one of the best hitting teams in the country, and that's nothing new under his resume. So where this goes for the next couple of years, I think you're going to see only the greatest of Texas A&M in the next couple of years. So super proud of what he's done here in his first 2 years. And how he's trusted in all of us to lead this team. So,
yeah, Clayton. I know we talked with you mid-season about that conversation you had with J.K. about wanting the ball more, and it was kind of from that point on that, the stock rose from you. What did it feel good to be able to kind of double down on that bet you made on yourself then tonight with the coming out to start and the effort you put in through the start?
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. I think as a standpoint of like keeping the outings longer, I that's what I wanted to do, and I knew that I could, and in that sense I just wanted to help the team out as much as possible, and if that meant that I went longer, then I went longer. Obviously it didn't go out the way that we wanted it to tonight, but I think a sense of it is like I'm extremely proud of our teammates. Like these guys are the reason that everybody pushed for what we did, and I mean we're in the situation because of them. Like I mean it just happened to be that I bet on myself and it worked.
And what was the stamina like in that last inning because you hadn't gone that far before?
I mean, to say that I was getting tired was probably true. I mean, what excuse could I have? Like, it's pretty, like, you could see that it was happening. I wanted to go out there with the mentality that it was the first inning every time that I went out there, and I mean, it just caught up to me a little bit, and I just wanted to compete until my last pitch, and I felt like that's what I did.
That was Clayton Freshcorn with Gavin Grahovic and Michael Early. A listen in after the loss. Season ended. USC last night. Now we got to take a quick comeback. Take a quick time out. When we come back, some more of your text messages. It is the Louis Bellina Show. It is Thursday. It is the Louis Bellina Show presented by CC Electric here on The Zone.
Give it to me. The Louis Bellina Show.
It's awesome.
Enter the rooms.
That sounds fun and not creepy.
Listen in weekdays, 11 to 2 on The Zone.
Couple of text messages. Peruna and College Station. I'm right there with you on teams that I can't stand. There's a list of teams that irritate me, agitate me, and for Peruna, Texas is one, Baylor's 1B, Texas Tech is next. And then after that, this is Peruna. I will be rooting for next against Texas. Yeah. Texas 1, Baylor 2, Texas Tech 3. And you'll notice none of those are SEC teams. Oh, Texas decided to jump in. But there's teams in the SEC I love to beat. I mean, LSU is probably fairly my 1B. But I just want to, how do I explain it? I hate Baylor. I hate Waco. But if we're talking about, since you don't play them, it's Texas 1, LSU 2. But if we're doing the hate list, it's Texas 1, Baylor 2, Texas Tech 3. If we're talking about got to beat the hell out of, it's Texas 1, LSU 2. That would be my list. Wait a minute, Lou, how do you do that? How do you have two different lists? Because I'm talented. Because I'm good like that. I did that easily. 979-693-1150. I'll be back with Joe Sheehan of the Joe Sheehan newsletter. All things MLB next on the Louis Bellina Show.